welcome to Plowing the Past. My name is Kendall Motes, and I'm here to share New Holland agricultural's history with some of the people that have shaped it within the high school agriculture program. Again, my name is Kendall Motes, and I'm a sophomore student at Ithaca College. I'm a Grassland FFA alumni in 2023, and throughout these videos, I'm just trying to educate others while educating myself on the opportunities and all the experiences people have had in New Holland. Today we are here with John Sweigart. He's the class of 1983. We are going to hear about some of his experiences during high school and in the FFA program, and then after, and how he still stays involved in agriculture. So John, can you tell us a little bit about how you got involved in the ag program?
Well, it really started in elementary school. I remember a student teacher coming and started talking to us a little bit about, what's involved with FFA. How to get involved, and I wasn't a farmer, right? But I had a lot of background in the outdoors. I really enjoyed that. So going into junior high, they had different classes, even pre-high school on FFA and what's involved, and they talked about the environmental versus a production FFA that they had, which really triggered, wow, this is pretty neat. Grew up with horses and sort of a farm background, but not having a farm myself. So the environmental side, because I'm an outdoors person, that really triggered me, and the teachers really, sold it to where the growth of where I wanted to be in the future, be a good educational level for me. So.
Now, so you were part of the FFA program when it was split between production and,
yes.
Okay, so I love hearing about this because we don't have that anymore. So you can tell me a little bit about what side you were on and what your experiences was like.
So, in ninth grade, I went to environmental FFA, or I think it was called environmental science or something at the time. And it was a science material, what do you want to call it, curriculum. Bob Lawfer was my teacher.
Okay.
He was only, I think it was his third year maybe in teaching it, but the classes were just awesome. And you had that thing of, okay, this is great for me because I don't raise dairy cattle, I'm not raising sheep, and the environmental side with the forestry, outdoors, environmental impact of different things really triggered my interest.
Yeah.
So,
did you do any competitive development events during your time in high school?
I did. So we had public speaking, which was really cool. We had the poultry class, where poultry contests, which we really did well in, forestry contests, and an environmental or a wildlife identification involvement contest, which really set me into the direction of where I wanted to be and what I wanted to do, and I won that, which was really neat. Went to Penn State and had that opportunity to win a free trip to Kansas City, which was really neat.
Can you tell me?
They didn't have a contest in Kansas City.
Okay.
For the wildlife identification contest, but that was a neat experience.
Can you tell me about your trip to Kansas City?
Sure. So, being a freshman and going to Kansas City was really neat. And we drove a bus.
Okay.
I remember first time ever being on a Greyhound bus and went the whole way to Kansas City from Pennsylvania.
It's a long drive.
And Bob was my chaperone, which was pretty neat. It was a long drive, but to go out there and see, all the blue coats, we call that, and from all over the United States. You look at that logo in the back of a jacket and it has Pennsylvania, that's one thing, but when you see Texas, Illinois, Georgia, Florida, and it was from everywhere.
Yeah. And multiple from everywhere. So many people.
So many people, and it was, the stage and just how cool it was, which triggered me next to be, an officer. So, and we did have that opportunity with the environmental and production side, we had officers for each group.
Yes.
So the following year, I became the president of the environmental
Wow. Okay.
side, which was really a good growing experience. Being that leader role was neat.
Yeah. As a sophomore.
As a sophomore. So, yeah, it was a good experience.
Can you tell me a little bit about that officer role? Were you president for the rest of your 3 years, or did you kind of flip around?
I was president, then I think I was vice president, and then when I did go to the production part of the class my senior year, since they only had it for 3 years. And then I think I was a lower level, like a second officer or something.
Yeah.
But that growth of being a leader, and understanding how to, promote an organization, representing, your school.
Yeah.
Pretty neat deal. Made you feel proud to be able to, say, supporting a group that you really believe in. So, yeah, I couldn't ask for anything any more, especially to the role that I'm in now. It helped me develop myself to be that. So.
Yeah. Can you tell me a little bit about once you were finishing up high school, getting ready to graduate, how you decided what your next steps were going to be?
Well, it's interesting. So, most of my family went work for New Holland, right? So it was Sperry, New Holland, Case, whatever it is now.
Like the 5 different names.
Yeah,
it's had.
and I had a cousin worked at Weaver's. He said, "You want to try this? Come on in." So, kid right out of high school, I was thinking maybe I'm going to go to college. I don't know, not sure, finances, and started working. And I seen the opportunity of growth in a company that will give you all the tools you need to be successful. It's like going to school. It's sort of like FFA. They give you the tools to help you grow, and what you use with that, helps you develop yourself to be a better person.
Yeah.
And exactly what happened. I've only been there 41 years, so I am the plant manager. I've been in that role for now 2 years.
Okay.
So, from working on the line to run the whole operation, it's a neat experience. You get to understand how business works and how people work. It's business is nothing without the people.
Mm-hmm.
So once you learn that and understand and to work with people and have strong relationships with them, it's just like an organization with FFA. Strong relationships, it goes a long way.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of support, a lot of teamwork, and people that got your back. It's pretty neat.
Could you tell me a little bit about the Big E competition in Massachusetts and that you facilitated that?
So, Tyson's Poultry, and it's pretty neat. Bob has facilitated those contests for years, and he got a hold of me and says, "Hey, John, can you get us chicken for this? Can you get me this? And it's unique." So we've done that, for years now since I've been there, and we've donated all that product. Our business, we do a lot of grading of poultry, so it's pretty neat to be able to identify what you learned in school and collect these parts for contests for kids, and it's something I believe in, and I think it's great that our company can support that.
Yeah.
And we do it for 3 different parts of that contest, and it's pretty neat because Bob always asks for unique things too. If you can get it, hey, how about this? Can you give me some livers, or can you give me gizzards, or can you give me birds that are no grades versus a grade A? And it's neat because I remember all that to where, I can do that. We can set it up, and we're glad to be able to be a partner of that too, to help out. So
Yeah. So as we're wrapping up the interview, I see here that there is a story about the morning that you got your first deer and how you had to go and show somebody. Can you tell me about this story?
I can do that. So, I have strong relationships and experiences in fond memories that I'll never forget from Bob Lawfer was my first teacher, Phil Opline, Mr. Day, all that were involved. They were such an inspiration to me and to be a better person and to, be proud of who you are and what you can do. I did shoot a deer with a bow. It was the first deer I ever shot. I was that proud because I wanted to show Bob, because all we ever talked about was outdoors and hunting, and it was just so neat to brag on something. And you had that relationship where I could go, after school or not even the weekend, and go to his house and say, hey, look what I done. Now he wasn't there. His wife was there, and she was also a great person. She's still a great person. But you don't think of that until 41 years later, how important that was. And Bob was a real big inspiration. I remember one of the first things, he knew I was an avid turkey hunter. And there was a teacher right next door who was a big turkey hunter. Can't come to his name right now. But he made me go out in the hallway and started calling turkeys. And his teacher came running out, and Bob's standing there laughing because he was wondering, who's calling turkeys here in Northside High School? Hallway. Yeah, so, he inspired you and made you do things that you didn't want to do sometimes, but triggered that ability to show that you can do that.
Yeah.
All the ag teachers did that, and which was fascinating. They brought out more of you than you really realized.
And they still do that today. I don't know what it is about
I
grassland.
have relationships with these guys as we speak, and a great inspiration to me and my family. I tell stories. One of the things we talked about, or we didn't get into, is record books. Okay. And when you're in FFA, one of the hardest things doing is a record book. Everybody doesn't want to keep records, don't want to do this. That's extra work. I had the fortunate to win with my record book. It was the wildlife part of record keeping, where I did wildlife habitat improvement, water improvement, and I did very well with that. And it was a struggle,
It's a lot of work.
Bob would always say, hey, did you put that down? Did you write this out? Did you take pictures? Did you? And he forced me through to where it really went, I think, one regional. So I was proud of that. Yeah. So I had a brother who wanted to follow my footsteps, and Bob always brings up this story. My brother was a terrible record keeper. He literally went to my house one day with my brother because he said he forgot it or he can't find it. He helped my brother find his record book.
Oh my gosh.
And it was underneath a bed. Now it wasn't fully completed, but that's the devotion that these teachers really have. You don't think of that, and my brother still talks about that. He says, yeah, Bob was in my bedroom. We were on our hands and he's looking for my book, and there it was. And it was, who remembers that?
Well, I remember my ag teacher taking me home one day because I missed the bus because I was staying after working on FFA stuff. I think I had like an interview, and she was like, are you going to be here for any longer? I was like, oh, like 10 minutes. Took me home. Like, Grassland FFA advisors, it was just the best.
Yes. Great experiences that you'll never forget and you'll cherish forever.
Yeah. As we begin to wrap up, is there anything that you wish I would have asked you that you'd like to touch on, or a story you'd like to share?
We had so many experiences. We talked about the contests, going to Penn State. Going to Penn State as a high school student was like triggers what your abilities could be in the future. And seeing the dorms and seeing all the stuff and what you do and meeting so many people. I had that opportunity to win a contest, place in contest, just missing a contest, which was meat judging. And I think it's one that I missed going to Kansas City by 1 point for the state team for nationals. And it was like, should I have studied harder? And it makes you think, what could have been different?
Yeah.
But I wouldn't trade it for the world. It was a neat experience, and all the experiences from going on hiking trips, field trips, to Middle Creek. We did a lot of wildlife projects cooperating with Middle Creek, and we went on a camping trip. I remember the whole group of officers, and we were going to catch fish, and then we were going to have a fish fry. We didn't catch any fish. We had spam. That's a true story. Laughed, and those memories just filter through, my kids, my grandkids, hopefully in the future.
Yeah.
And it's something that I wouldn't have changed for the world for what I did. And the people that I got to know and became really close, and a great friendship that you'll never regret.
I think that is a great place to end. Thank you so much for talking to me today, and thank all of you guys for watching Plowing the Past. Stay tuned for more videos to hear more about New Holland's agriculture history.